It really is starting to turn into just lunacy at Lucasfilm. James Mangold, the man who made Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, now claiming that he does not want to be handcuffed to George Lucas lore when he is making the very first, chronologically, Star Wars movie called Dawn of the Jedi. Folks, we can't make this up anymore. They have gone completely Lulu, and we'll tell you what's true when it comes to what might be coming to theaters near you for Star Wars. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. It is, as ever, a joy to have you with us. An attitude of gratitude we have every single time we have the pleasure of spending part of our day with you. Folks, click that like button. We'll get underway. And Star Wars, boy, oh boy, they are just throwing it under the bus. There's like 10 buses getting ready to run over it. And you must hear just how bad it is. But it brings us no joy to say they have gone amok. And it's yuck. Everything they announce. We'll explain. James Mangold has clearly jumped the tauntaun. It's out of thatparkplace.com, and it is yet more of loser Lucasfilm opening the door to major criticisms. This one's by Raven Redgrave. Folks, if you're not yet bookmarked to That Park Place, well, you should be. Here's the article. It says, James Mangold says he doesn't want his Star Wars movie to be handcuffed by George Lucas lore. Now, James Mangold has already sort of wafted into this before, but he's really stepping in it almost as much as Anthony Mackie when it comes to Captain Un-America. Here goes James Mangold. You know, you would think Disney would be getting tired of this by now. You would think they need a little break, maybe a siesta, but no, it's not going to happen. Their crazy celebrity stars and directors will not give them a break, not even for a moment. James Mangold recently spoke about his upcoming Star Wars movie, noting that he doesn't want to be handcuffed by George Lucas. The James Mangold Star Wars movie is still going forward, confirmed to be an origin story for the Jedi Order. James Mangold, director of Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, he loves to remember that one, recently shared his thoughts and plans for Star Wars: Dawn of the Jedi. In an interview with Movie Web, Mangold explained he wants to focus on creative liberty, unburdened by decades of beloved lore established by one George Lucas. And, well, here's the new quote. Everybody ready for the new quote? We got a new quote. It's the quote. Here it goes. Quote, "To me, the really important aspects are the freedom to make something new," he said. George Lucas' storytelling pattern for Star Wars was meant to be like poetry, give it structure and depth. Mangold apparently wants to defy this tradition method to work in something original, as he put it. Keep going down. Here's more. "It's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore," the director explained, "and that I was inspired by as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable." The precise date of the film within the Star Wars timeline, according to Mangold, is 25,000 years before any other Star Wars film. And he loves it when we put this back on the screen. He loves it. All right, Lauren, let's talk lore. James Mangold says he does not want to be handcuffed by George Lucas. And I have to say that if he's going to do the Dawn of the Jedi, which is the part of Star Wars canon and history that starts the whole thing and really sets forth what the Jedi are and what they will be, I can't think of a more dangerous place and time for him to start writing with this kind of an attitude. But what say you, sir? You are the Star Wars guru. Tell the audience out there what you think about it.
I'm getting some real deja vu vibes here because we've already had this conversation, and I'll say the same thing that I said last time. If you don't want to be handcuffed by the lore of the franchise that is making it possible for you to make a picture, get out. You don't belong here. We don't want you. If you're not interested in playing in the sandbox, get out. I'm not interested in it. This blows my mind. James Mangold has made some excellent pictures in the past, but Dial of Destiny was a stinker. And how he ever made that and claims to love the character and the lore, I'm flabbergasted. After what he did there, go do your own thing. You're great at doing pictures on your own. You don't have to work in established IP, but the rule is if you're going to work in established IP, you have to play by that IP's laws, and lore. That's been borne out by the box office since time immemorial. When you don't respect the IP and what made it what it is, you're going to flop and your reputation will take a hit. Don't do this to yourself and to us if you're not going to respect the property.
Lauren, next you're going to tell me that Superman's eyes both need to point in the same direction. We're getting into ludicrous levels of analysis here. Lauren, let me bounce back to you because you're exactly right. It is deja vu all over again. Some famous baseball player or a bear, I'm not sure which one it was, said that once upon a time. But Lauren, seems to me that James Mangold is doubling down. So we'd already heard something similar to this, but we're going another step now. The reporting on that Park Place, he's doubling down. He's talking about it again. Nobody at Disney said, hey, you can't say that. He's actually going further and talking about, well, he doesn't want to be handcuffed by George Lucas. And it's like, well, the man made Star Wars, so you're kind of handcuffed by him because he set all the rules for the galaxy.
Yeah, but I mean, there's the other part of me that is going to say, I don't think he's going to be handcuffed anyway because I don't think this movie's going to be made, which is also what I've been saying for a while. They're interested in trying to make news to make it sound like they're doing something. I don't think they've really got anything on the table. I don't think that they know how to run a production anymore. I think they've run out all of their actual writing and production talent. I think that it's kind of crazy that you have these people that are signing on to licensed properties that don't want to adhere to what the license is about. It's like, how is this going to help your career? I don't see it. They need to figure out what is it that the audience actually wants as a product. I mean, it's ultimately that's what this is. It's a consumer-oriented business, and you can get away with telling people we want to do something new for a while, as long as what you do is you make something new and good. They haven't made anything good in a long time. You've run out of chances. The audience no longer trusts you. So the only thing that you can do is go back to basics. And if you're not going to do that, don't bother. You're just going to put more nails in the coffin.
Yep. All right, Kevin, what's the likelihood this actually gets made? How much stock are you putting in James Mangold really getting a Dawn of the Jedi movie?
I see this as being as likely as Chris Hemsworth being in that Star Trek 4 movie that JJ keeps threatening everybody with every couple of months.
Wait. You know that one day, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, we're going to have Ryan Roundheaded Johnson sitting in an assisted living place somewhere, gumming down lime jello and swearing that his trilogy is happening. Any moment now, any moment that Star Wars trilogy is on the way.
As he whispers, man babies, man babies.
Kevin, you're not buying that one either. None of this. The only thing you're believing is going to come out from Lucasfilm is the Mandalorian movie. Is there anything else?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not even excited about the Mandalorian movie, honestly.
Nobody is. Is anybody on the panel excited about Mando? Anybody on the panel excited about Mando?
I loved Mandalorian, and I would be excited if I hadn't seen season 3. But I saw season 3, and now all I can think is, what's the point?
Season 3 was so bad that prior to actually watching some of this stuff for the shows and stuff, I literally canceled my Disney Plus subscription after watching the first episode. It was that bad.
Who's the character that we're supposed to be saving in the Mandalorian movie?
Oh, Stinky?
Is it really the name Stinky?
Yeah, it's a Rada the Hutt, but yes, his nickname is Stinky.
Okay. Hang on a second. Because there are people in the audience that they've never heard this. They weren't here when we talked about this before. Come on, you guys have got to explain what the heck we're talking about when we say Rada the Hutt, Stinky is going to be the focus of the Mandalorian movie. I mean, surely we're making this up. Surely, right? Surely.
Yeah. Rada was a major plot point in the Clone Wars movie in 2008. He was an infant at the time, and he is Jabba the Hutt's offspring. So there you go.
And Nolan, we know that, or at least as well as you can know anything, we know that Rada, a.k.a. Stinky the Hutt, is going to be a major part in this movie because, well, we know who has been cast to play the character in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which, that's just really something.
But
so is that?
What? Okay, so we're rescuing Rada the Hutt or Stinky. My question though is that wasn't that the number 2, like the last half plot of the Clone Wars itself? Like literally, it was rescuing Stinky from Count Dooku, right?
Yeah,
the movie.
Yeah,
Now-
and it's important to remember as well that really the Clone Wars movie was just 4 episodes of the show that they stitched together as well, and it was
Right.
The whole chronology of the Clone Wars is kind of screwed up as well. You can actually go online and find the actual chronology and watch the episodes in order, and it improves the show quite a bit. Not that it's a bad show, it's just that watching things chronologically, things make a lot more sense.
Right.
But it was their way of introducing the series, was taking these episodes and putting it up on a movie screen in 2008. So that was the introduction of Ahsoka.
Yeah, and let's not forget that, to what you're saying there, the main point of that film was introducing the character of Ahsoka and having her be a part of Anakin, and we see how well they did with her just like a year or two ago. So how well are they going to do on a B plot here? I don't have much faith for that.
So Nolan, you asked about, who is it? How do we know this? Well, here it is. Jeremy Allen is cast as Rata the Hutt, who goes by the nickname Stinky. Now, I'm not trying to, and by the way, we want to thank our research gnomes who were quick on the draw in getting this to us. They had been known as underpants gnomes, but they failed so badly, we've turned them into research gnomes.
I don't get it. You see, phase 1, collect underpants. Phase 2, phase 3, profit. Oh, I get it. No, you don't, fat.
Yeah, so their ability to reach profit is about as good as Lucasfilm's. So, but they're great researchers, and they found this right off the bat. I bring this up because I can't find anywhere that I'm finding a lot of excitement for Star Wars. So whether it is James Mangold declaring that he doesn't want to be handcuffed by George Lucas, I mean, that's like somebody wanting to do a Snoopy movie and saying, I don't want to be handcuffed by that darn Charles Schultz fella. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? Or whether it is, the focus of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie is going to be Stinky the Hutt. Like, I feel like I am just watching the unraveling of a studio and its legacy into utter incompetence. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why we talk about it. That's why we go there. Let me give a challenge to the panel, though. Vash, I'll start with you because, well, it's unfair, and so you'll take it. Vash, is there anything on the horizon from Star Wars that you could get excited about?
Man, I mean, so we have 3 films in development, right? We have the James Mangold film, we have the Sean Levy film now with Ryan Gosling, and then we have the Rey movie on its, 3rd writer with Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. And then the Mandalorian Grogu movie, that's going to be hitting theaters next year, if I'm not mistaken.
By the way, Vash, I have a scoop on the Rey movie. I am not ready to go public with it. This is one that's so spicy that we must see if we can get somebody to corroborate it. But I'm just here to tell you, Stinky might not be the worst thing happening if the scoop comes true. So just putting that out there.
Yeah, well, that's really something. I'm not really that excited about anything, and what's made worse is the fact that they're looking to develop a Knights of the Old Republic series, which I think is the worst thing you could possibly do, especially right now with Kathleen Kennedy and everything. It's the last vestige of legitimately great Star Wars things. A timeline that fans would be very excited about, but not from this regime.
You're wrong, Vash. You're not recognizing Kathleen Kennedy has an expiration date on her career. We don't know how long it goes, but this woman has identified that she's got an end date at Lucasfilm. And there's only 2 places that she has not yet fully imprinted her level of suck. And that is the Dawn of the Jedi era and the Knights of the Old Republic, right? Those 2 were pristine still. And she's going there with a vengeance.
Technically, there's still the Legacy era, too, but I don't think they're probably ever going to touch that.
Okay, tell us what the Legacy era is. When is it? What is it? What you got, Lauren?
That's about 100 years beyond Return of the Jedi, and it dealt with some ancestors of the Skywalkers and a much different kind of Republic and Imperial order. It was kind of an interesting take on the series. It had Cade Skywalker, who was a bounty hunter who had kind of turned his back on the Force and was he had a thing with death sticks. Flew a pretty interesting ship called the Minok, which I really liked. You had Imperial Knights, which was a different kind of a concept. It was fun. That was another thing that was Dark Horse. Dark Horse did a lot of really interesting spins on the Star Wars universe, introduced a lot of really cool lore. And I've said before that if you wanted to jumpstart Star Wars, it's those guys I'd be going to, because they were an idea factory and they respected what Star Wars was. They got it.
Maybe we should stop giving breadcrumbs. Maybe we shouldn't have brought that up. I'm kind of worried that Lucasfilm is watching and just figured out a new avenue. They're like, darn it, we missed one. We'll get it though. We'll get it. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Right now to orchestrate a line of 5 toys with a full issue of 5 each.
Ray Palpatine wiped out the Skywalker, so we have no problems there. So that's thankfully, off the table. Yuuzhan Vong probably off the table as well. But there's really nothing to excite anybody of Star Wars, and that's the thing. The two things I think holding Star Wars back the most is the established lore and canon from mainly the sequel trilogy, but there are other things as well that have done damage to the canon, and also to Kathleen Kennedy. As long as Kathleen Kennedy is attached to any of these projects, as long as she has an executive producer or producer credit on any of these things, people really can't get excited about the franchise. Now, as soon as she makes her exit, and maybe, we put the franchise on kind of a hiatus for maybe like 5 years or something like that, and then reveal the big film, I think you will get an increased enthusiasm there, but it's something that you'll have to work back, because I think the Force Awakens time period where everybody goes out and sees this film and it makes $2 billion, I think that's long past the franchise.
I am but a humble entertainment analyst, but even I, your humble neighborhood correspondent, can give some advice to future Star Wars directors, writers, celebrities, etc. Here are the things you should say. I love Star Wars. I've been a Star Wars fan forever. I love the original trilogy. George Lucas made a great thing. George Lucas is a genius. I respect the lore. I love what has come before. We're not here to change it. We're here to add to it and make it even better. How's that? How's that for the list? Impromptu. How about you don't come out and say anymore, yeah, we're gonna subvert those expectations again. No more than that.
Could you imagine going to a interview at like a hospital for like a nursing job and you're like, man, I hate people. I really hope they die at the operation table. Like, no, you talk about how much you love people and you want to help them heal. It makes no sense.
I think the best
is Ryan Johnson.
What they should do is just say nothing at all. Stop saying things. If you really want to have a chance at any of this, surprise us. Don't just drop something out of the blue that is a love letter to the fans, so that we have no lead up to it, no worrying about it, no time to speculate. Then come out and say that you love what came before, and this is a present that you're giving to the audience because you love it and you love us and you hope that we love it too. But if we don't, that's okay. Do that.
It's a dream come true to work in this franchise that you've respected for so long. Instead, all we get is...
Now, commence Operation Vacuum Suck! 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 Suck!
Every single time. I know, you want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice, right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you, and although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, that Park Place, that Game Place, and that Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.